All right, so you're thinking about a career in water-based aquaculture.
Smart move. It's a growing field and
Yeah, we're seeing more and more interest, and
definitely. So to help you prep for those interviews
we're going to tackle some of the toughest questions.
and sprinkle in some tips from the RoleCatcher Career Guide.
Okay, so before we get to the questions,
Let's just paint a picture of what this job actually is.
so what does a typical day look like for a water-based aquaculture worker?
Well, it's a pretty hands-on role.
Okay, so not a desk job then.
Definitely not. You're dealing with the fish, of course, but also...
The whole environment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, water quality equipment.
Even the weather, sometimes, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And technology is playing a bigger role now, too.
Which is something to think about for your career down the line.
Absolutely.
But okay, enough about the future. Let's talk about landing that job now.
Sounds good.
And I know RoleCatcher had some interesting insights about how their AI
Oh, yeah.
can actually help tailor your answers to specific jobs.
Right. So it analyzes your responses and flags areas you can improve.
Okay.
And it even suggests industry-specific examples.
That's good.
So, like, if you're applying to a salmon farm versus a shellfish hatchery,
Okay.
your answers will be more targeted.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's almost like
Yeah,
having a personalized interview coach in your pocket.
exactly.
But enough about the tech for now. Let's get to those questions.
All right. Let's start with a classic. Can you tell me about your experience working in water-based aquaculture?
Okay, first question, and it's already a potential pitfall.
Yeah, if you haven't worked on a commercial farm before, it can be tricky.
Right.
But don't panic. They're really looking for relevant experience.
And that's certainly like years on a huge operation.
Exactly. Think about any time you've worked with aquatic animals or environments.
So volunteering at a local hatchery.
Exactly.
Even that detailed aquarium journal I kept as a kid.
Absolutely. It shows a genuine interest. And try to quantify your experience.
So how many fish, what species, what challenges did I face?
Right.
And I bet RoleCatcher's AI could even help identify transferable skills from other jobs.
Oh, for sure.
Like if you were a lab technician, the attention to detail and following protocols would be relevant here.
Totally. It helps connect those dots for the interviewer.
Okay.
Now, here's a likely follow-up. What species have you worked with, and what were the unique challenges of each?
Ooh, getting specific.
Yeah.
This is where knowing your fish comes in handy.
Precisely highlight any knowledge you have.
Okay.
But if a species is totally new to you, just be honest.
Okay.
Say something like, while I haven't worked with that specific species, I'm eager to learn, and my experience with X has taught me Y, which I believe would be applicable.
So showcasing that adaptability.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, next question. How do you ensure the health and welfare of fish in your care?
This one's all about responsible aquaculture.
Okay.
They want to hear that you prioritize fish well-being.
So it's not just about keeping them alive.
Right.
It's about making sure they thrive.
Exactly. Mention things like water quality parameters.
Like dissolved oxygen.
Yeah, that's a big one. It directly impacts fish health.
Okay.
Talk about disease prevention feeding protocols.
Got it. So even if you haven't worked with commercial scale systems, just showing you understand the concepts
Is huge.
yes. And this is where RoleCatcher can really shine.
So.
It can actually feed you,
Okay.
pun intended,
Uh-huh.
industry-specific examples
Well,
of
okay.
best practices.
Okay, I like what you did there. All right, question 3.
Okay.
This one's a bit of a curveball. How do you handle emergency situations like a disease outbreak or equipment failure?
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
This tests your problem-solving skills under pressure.
Okay.
So think of a time you had to think fast, maybe even outside your usual area of expertise.
Like that time my toilet overflowed and I had to YouTube a plumbing fix.
Uh-huh. Perfect.
That counts.
Exactly. Walk them through your thought process.
Yeah.
Assess the situation,
Okay.
identify possible solutions, take action.
Got it.
Even basic mechanical skills or first aid training could be relevant here.
Right, because in aquaculture...
Sometimes you were the first responder.
Exactly.
Okay, so potential follow-up here could be, tell me about a time you had to make a difficult decision with limited information.
Ooh, that's a good one. They're looking for leadership potential, even at an entry level.
Interesting.
Ah.
Okay, moving on to question 4. How do you manage the feeding of fish in an aquaculture operation?
This digs into your knowledge of fish nutrition and growth cycles.
Right. Different species, different needs.
Exactly.
Okay, well, even if my experience is with a goldfish bowl,
Sure.
I can still explain how I figured out food amounts and monitored their growth.
Exactly. And if you're lacking in the commercial side of things, RoleCatcher can provide examples of feeding techniques and systems.
All right, question 5. How do you maintain water quality in an aquaculture operation?
This is a crucial one.
Okay.
Water quality directly affects fish health.
Right.
They want to know you can monitor key parameters.
Like pH and ammonia levels.
Exactly.
Okay. So even if I've never used a commercial water testing kit, just showing that I grasp the importance of these things
Yes,
is key.
exactly. And again, RoleCatcher can provide a deeper dive into water quality management,
Okay.
specific to the job you're applying for.
Super helpful. Okay. Question 6 is about your versatility. Can you describe your experience working with different fish species in aquaculture?
All right, so if you've only worked with a few species, that's okay.
Okay.
Just focus on what you've learned about their specific needs.
Like feeding habits, growth rates,
Exactly.
things like that.
And be honest about your willingness to learn new things.
Okay.
They want to see that you're adaptable.
Okay. Potential follow-up here could be, if you were tasked with raising a species you were unfamiliar with, where would you start your research?
That's a good one. It shows you're proactive and resourceful.
Okay.
All right, question number 7. This is a big one. How do you ensure compliance with environmental regulations in aquaculture operations?
Okay, so this is about responsibility and sustainability
Exactly. They want to see that you understand the potential environmental impacts.
of aquaculture
Right.
and how to minimize them.
Precisely. So things like waste management,
Okay.
disease control, responsible sourcing of materials.
Okay, even if I don't know the specific regulations off
Yeah.
the top of my head,
Sure.
just showing I'm aware and committed
Exactly.
is key.
Yes. And I bet RoleCatcher has a library of those regulations.
Oh, probably broken down by region too.
Exactly. It can tailor your answer to the specific location of the job.
Wow, that's really helpful. Okay, we've tackled 7 questions already.
Yeah, we're on a roll.
Should we take a break before we hit the final 3?
Let's keep the momentum going.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so question number 8. How do you train and supervise aquaculture workers?
Yeah, the leadership question.
Right. Even for an entry-level job, they want to see that you have potential to
Okay.
guide others. Think about any time you've explained a process.
Okay.
Delegated tasks provided feedback. Didn't you train new hires at your last job?
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot about that. I focused on breaking down complex procedures into easy steps and giving clear, constructive criticism.
Perfect example. Highlight those skills. Communication patience, the ability to build rapport.
Got it.
Even mentoring a friend through a tough time shows those qualities.
Okay. And I imagine any leadership training, even outside aquaculture,
Right.
would add weight to my answer.
Absolutely.
Okay, potential follow-up. Describe your approach to motivating a team to meet a challenging deadline.
Ooh, nice one. It shows you're already thinking like a supervisor. Okay, question 9. Can you describe your experience with fish health diagnostics and treatment?
Oh, getting technical. This is where any aquarium experience would come in handy.
Exactly. Talk about recognizing signs of illness.
Okay.
Using water testing kits.
Got it.
Even basic observation of fish behavior.
I remember when my betta fish got fin rot,
Uh-huh.
I had to research different medications and quarantine him. It was a crash course in fish health.
Excellent example. Even if it wasn't on a commercial scale, it shows that you're willing to learn and problem solve.
And if this area is totally new to me,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher can provide information on common fish diseases
Yeah.
and treatment protocols.
It's a great resource to fill in those knowledge gaps. Okay, final question. How do you ensure the biosecurity of an aquaculture operation?
Okay. This one sounds almost like a medical thriller.
Uh-huh, right.
It's all about preventing disease outbreaks.
Exactly. Think of it as protecting a fragile ecosystem.
Okay.
Key points to hit: quarantine procedures, disinfection protocols, controlling access to different areas of the farm.
So being meticulous about cleanliness,
Yes,
limiting the spread of potential contaminants.
exactly.
It's almost like being a surgeon in an operating room.
That's a great analogy. And any experience you have with biosecurity in other settings,
Oh.
even something like working in a food service environment,
Okay.
shows that you understand the principles.
So washing hands, frequently sanitizing surfaces,
Exactly.
those everyday habits
Right.
become valuable skills in aquaculture.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And I imagine RoleCatcher could provide insights into specific biosecurity challenges and solutions.
Probably for different types of operations, too.
Exactly. It can help you tailor your answer
Okay.
to the specific job you're applying for.
Okay. We've conquered all 10 questions.
We did it!
But hold on. Didn't we promise some juicy career insights from RoleCatcher?
Oh, yes, we did.
It's not just about acing the interview.
Right.
It's about what comes after.
Exactly. RoleCatcher's Career Guide is full of helpful advice for plotting your course
Okay.
in the aquaculture industry.
So you land the job. Congrats.
Woo!
But what's next? How do you move up the ladder, so to speak?
Well, first, gaining hands-on experience is key.
Okay.
Starting with an entry-level position lets you build a strong foundation.
It's like an apprenticeship.
Exactly.
Learning the ropes before taking on more responsibility.
Right. And as you gain experience, think about specialization.
Okay.
Do you want to focus on a specific species, like salmon or oysters?
Interesting.
Or maybe a specific stage of production, like hatchery management or fish nutrition?
So I could become like a salmon whisperer or
Yes.
a shellfish guru.
Exactly. And continuous learning is crucial. Stay up to date on industry trends.
Through publications, conferences,
Yeah.
even online forums.
Absolutely. This is where RoleCatcher's platform comes in handy.
How so?
They have tons of resources and even networking tools
Okay.
to help you connect with other professionals.
Well, imagine importing my contacts.
Yeah.
Organizing them,
Huh.
tracking my interactions.
Exactly. It streamlines the whole process.
It's like having a personal assistant for your career development.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gaining experience, specializing, staying informed.
Mm-hmm.
What about actual career progression?
Mm-hmm.
What are some realistic goals?
Well, from water-based aquaculture worker, you could move into supervisory or management roles.
Okay.
Imagine yourself as an aquaculture supervisor,
Right.
maybe even an aquaculture manager someday.
Wow. From fish feeder to farm manager. It's pretty inspiring.
And who knows, you might even decide to start your own aquaculture business down the line.
Okay, now that's a serious power move.
Right.
But even with all these resources and potential paths laid out,
Yeah,
starting a career in aquaculture can still feel daunting.
it's true. But remember, even the most experienced professionals started somewhere. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn from the ground up. Those early experiences are invaluable.
And with RoleCatcher's AI by my side, tailoring my CV and cover letter
Yes,
to highlight those experiences,
exactly.
I'll be well equipped to make a splash in the industry.
It's all about combining preparation, passion, and a willingness to learn and grow. The aquaculture world is your oyster.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Uh-huh.
But seriously, this deep dive has been packed with information.
It has.
Should we take a quick pause before we wrap things up and leave our listener with some food for thought?
Sounds like a plan. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's always more to explore.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We talked about what the job's actually like,
Right.
tackled those tricky interview questions,
Mm-hmm.
even mapped out some potential career paths.
Yeah, we've been busy.
But before we set you loose on the aquaculture world,
Okay.
there's one more thing to consider.
What's that?
Well, we've talked a lot about the present of aquaculture.
Right. The here and now.
But this is an industry that's on the cusp of some
Oh, yeah.
major changes.
Absolutely. Technology is becoming a real game changer.
Okay, so we touched on things like automated feeding systems.
Mm-hmm.
But what other advancements are we seeing? I feel like we're just scratching the surface here.
Think bigger.
Okay.
Precision farming techniques borrowed from agriculture.
Okay.
Data analytics to optimize everything from fish health to feed ratios.
Wow.
AI-powered monitoring systems.
Okay.
Even robotics for tasks that are dangerous or repetitive for humans.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
Oh,
So for someone just starting out,
yeah.
this might seem a bit overwhelming.
I can see that.
Like, do I need a computer science degree on top of everything else?
Yeah, not necessarily. But being tech-savvy will be a huge advantage.
Okay.
Comfort with computers, software, basic data analysis.
Got it.
These are all skills you can start building now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The more comfortable you are with technology,
Mm-hmm.
the better equipped you'll be to adapt as the industry evolves.
For sure. It's not just about knowing how to feed the fish anymore.
Right.
It's about understanding the whole interconnected system.
And it's not just about technical skills either, is it?
No, definitely not.
What about things like critical thinking,
Oh, absolutely.
problem-solving adaptability?
Those core skills become even more important in a tech-driven environment.
Because things are going to change so fast,
Yeah, right.
and you need to be able to keep up.
Exactly. Imagine a scenario. A sensor in a fish tank malfunctions,
Okay.
throwing off the water quality readings.
Oh, no.
You need to be able to troubleshoot the issue,
Yeah.
analyze the data, maybe even come up with a temporary fix while you're waiting for a technician.
So it's not just about following a set routine anymore.
No.
It's about thinking on your feet and being resourceful.
Exactly. And that brings us back to one of RoleCatcher's greatest strengths.
Okay.
It helps you anticipate those tricky questions and practice those problem-solving skills.
So I can walk into an interview not just knowing the answers,
Right.
but actually being able to think like an aquaculture professional.
Exactly. It's not just about memorizing facts.
Okay.
It's about developing a mindset, a way of approaching challenges. And honestly, that's something you can apply to any career, not just aquaculture.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
Embrace the challenge.
Okay.
Aquaculture is a dynamic growing field with immense potential. It's a chance to work with nature, contribute to a vital industry, and be a part of something truly innovative. Yes, there will be long days, unexpected problems, a constant need to learn and adapt.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot.
It is.
Yeah,
But the rewards, both personal and professional, are well worth it.
I love that. And remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone.
That's right.
RoleCatcher is there to guide you, equip you, and give you the confidence to make a real splash in the world of aquaculture. Good luck and happy fishing.